travel tips, no matter what the season. That's coming up. If you're traveling with kids or even by yourself, really, it seems like once you get to your destination you think, doggone, why didn't I pack that? Well, I gotta tell you, I did a little planning ahead of time and I was super organized on this trip, so I think I had everything I needed, and it's been a very smooth process so far. The only things we've had to go to the store and buy were the things that we planned on buying when we got here. So I'm gonna give you my top travel tips in no particular order because they're all pretty important, but do these things next time you travel and you're gonna have a great time. One of the first things I did to make this trip go so smoothly was packing, obviously, but it's not just packing, it's when you start packing. So I started getting ready, doing the prep for this trip about 3 days early, and I'm gonna tell you where I started was with whoever's in charge of the laundry. Well, you know, that's like the bane of your existence, especially if you have kids, multiple kids for that matter. It's like it's the job that's never done, right? Well, I started making sure that I had the clothes that we were gonna pack for this trip clean 3 days ahead of time. There were some things that I needed to make sure were clean, like right before we left, like the bathing suits, because we swam about up until we actually left for this trip. So, but outfits, underclothes, things like that, I made sure that those things were clean and packed and ready to go. I pulled out the suitcases 2 days before the trip and gave each kid a list of what they needed to put in their bag. This many outfits, this many pairs of underwear, this many pairs of socks. So all they had to do was go through that list and make sure they had each thing. It was perfect. I did the same thing, by the way, with my husband and myself too, because I'm good to forget something important as well. So I had a list that I printed out and we got things going. Another thing that I did early was I really started giving the refrigerator a good inventory just to see what needed to be thrown out and what I wanted to keep. Things like meat. I had some chicken that was thawing out that I thought, you know what? I should probably make sure I use that up. Fruit, I basically did a purge with all the fruit that we had and made sure everybody ate all the fruit. I didn't have to throw out any fruit, and we always keep a lot of fresh fruit on hand, so I didn't have to throw anything out like that before we left either. It worked out really well. Extra bags. Now, I don't mean like suitcases, obviously that's not going to be an option for you, but what I do mean is things to store other things in that just come in handy. Number one, baggies. Bring along some extra plastic gallon-sized baggies and some extra storage baggies. Just 3 or 4 of each. They're really convenient. They're thin, they fold flat, and they don't take up hardly any space. So make sure you do that. Another kind of bag you want to bring along, something for your dirty laundry, especially if you're like in a hotel where there isn't a washer and dryer on site. Bring along a trash bag or a bag specifically for laundry, and also bring along trash bags to keep in your room for excessive trash. You know, when you have trash like water bottles or anything, if you have diapers, things like that, you don't want to be shoving those in that teeny little hotel trash can, so make sure you bring along a few different trash bags as well. That'll really, really, really come in handy. Another kind of bag you want to bring along, obviously an extra bag, something again that folds nice and flat for the beach, and then a bag for once you're on the beach, maybe something waterproof or something that's that thick plastic and reusable, obviously, to store things like your cell phone or cameras, like the camera I'm using right now. Things like that that won't get sand in them, it'll protect your things from sand. So a few different extra bags to bring along definitely makes a big difference. Local coupons. Get online, do a little search for local deals. There's all kinds of extra little things you can do. It gives you a little sneak peek into the fun sites of the area, touristy or not, and I really like looking for local deals because you don't only do the things that are right on the beach, you get to drive around a little bit and see what else the city has to offer. And this is restaurants, This is activities. This can be spas. You can get great deals looking for the coupons. I always do like to look up reviews though on the locations where we are to make sure we're going somewhere that's safe, especially since we have kids. So check that out. Find out where a grocery store close by is and head out to the grocery store and grab a couple of healthy snacks to keep in your hotel room. You can eat out all you want, but nothing beats a healthy snack, especially when you are coming off from the beach. Everybody's hungry. If you're waiting to go out to dinner, everyone just needs a little something. You know, when you're on vacation, it's so easy to not eat well. So scope out the grocery store. We found one and went and grabbed some little healthy things. We got some mandarin orange fruit cups that were in 100% juice. I grabbed some apples. This time of year, cherries are readily available, so I grabbed some cherries and grapes and bananas, things that keep easily. We did have a little refrigerator in our hotel room, which was also wonderful because we have yogurt in there, you know, just some healthy things to snack on. So definitely scope out a good grocery store before you even get there so you can run in and just grab a few things to keep on hand in your hotel room that can keep everyone happy. And also, speaking of food, one of the other things I did is I also packed a few snacks just for the plane trip, and boy, I'm glad I did, because when we got to Miami, we had a little bit of a hiccup with our car rental, and we ended up being in the car rental place a lot longer than planned, and the kids were hungry, and we didn't get anything at the airport. We didn't anticipate that little hiccup, so they were hungry, and I happened to have some crackers on hand. Thank goodness I threw those in the bag. You can't travel with liquid these days to the airports here in the United States, so I didn't have any liquids, but we just grabbed a bottle of water. It was fine, and went from there. Those snacks that I had just thrown in a baggie on a whim right before we left saved the day. Chargers, and more chargers. I brought extra chargers, and because these days everyone's traveling with tablets, we have iPods, we've got multiple phones, I brought extra chargers. I brought extra adapters to fit into the walls, more than what I thought I needed. I promise, I think we're using every single one of them. One of my girls brought along a portable charger, one of those little cells that you can charge your things up with when you're walking around. So glad she brought that thing along. It absolutely changed the game. We were in a restaurant once and I needed to charge my phone, and it just came in so handy. So in addition to the chargers that you bring along for your walls, also bring chargers for the car, also bring along a portable cell. One of those little portable phone chargers that you don't have to plug up anywhere. It will change the game. And also, let's not leave out the extra headphones as well. When you're in a hotel room, you don't want to hear everybody's devices, or when you're on the airplane, obviously you need to use headphones. If you're waiting at the airport, make sure you bring along extra headphones. Make sure everybody has one in their carry-on bag, and also make sure that you have a few extras in your purse because they're bound to get dropped or misplaced. So invest in those too before you leave. You can get them for 10 bucks anywhere, and it's worth every penny. Sure, you carve out a little bit of time just for you. You know, when you're in close quarters in a hotel room, even if it's a room that has separate rooms or if it's a suite, you want to make sure that you carve out a little time for you. And it doesn't require leaving the family for a long time. One of the things my husband always does, no matter where we travel, is he always finds out where the local gyms are. And here at the beach, there happens to be some little workout sites on the beach. He is up and out of our hotel room before we even wake up to get in his exercise time, and it's just really good for him to do that. I recommend doing the same for anyone. Me, being not so much of a morning person, I like to go for a walk on the beach mid-morning. So I'll take the kids out to the beach, possibly while he's at the gym, so he can have his time to exercise, which he does no matter where we are. And then after we're out on the beach for a while, I'll say, hey honey, I'm gonna go for a walk, and he keeps the kids. So I recommend carving out just a little bit of time, 30, 40 minutes, just to get in that little quick bit of exercise, and it can be just as recharging as a nap in my book. So definitely think about doing that. One of the things that I did, and this is a benefit that's kind of after the trip, but I did it before the trip, is when I was purging all of that food and making sure we had everything taken care of, I made a grocery list of what we we're gonna need as soon as we got back. Now, I haven't decided yet whether I'm gonna do a grocery delivery, which I can schedule the morning before we leave, and it can be there when we get in, the evening we get back home. Or I can do a grocery run early the next morning, or on our way back to the house, or once we get everything dropped off. Either way, but I won't have to do any inventory when I get to the house to figure out what we do and don't need. So I have that grocery list packed away, it's in my purse, and it's ready to go. And another tip, take a picture of it. It's easy to lose things on vacation, right? So take a little photo of that grocery list that you make so you can make sure you don't lose it. I just grabbed a bottle of hand sanitizer. The one I had happened to be a spray bottle of hand sanitizer, but I ended up using it not only on our hands, but when we sat down in the airport to grab a bite to eat when we were waiting for our flight, the table wasn't as tidy as I wanted it to be, and I didn't even have to get up from the table. I happened to have some tissues on hand and some hand sanitizer, and I gave that table a quick wipe. We also used it to wipe our little trays off in the airplane and to wipe our hands as well. I love having that hand sanitizer on hand. It's a travel size, so it packs really well. Or if you don't have that, you can definitely use some disinfectant wipes that are safe for faces and hands as well. Quick travel tips for you. I hope you'll use some of those the next time you travel. I'm telling you, they really, really, really helped me out on this trip, and I feel good about it. I would do everything no different than what I did for this trip, just because it went that smoothly. So, these things apply whether it's summer, spring, winter, or fall, and they're easy, small little steps that you can take to make your vacation, no matter what time of year, no matter where it is, go super smooth. And also, speaking of smooth, you know, no matter where you are, your skin can just get rough, it can get dry. Well, I have a little DIY recipe for you that can keep your skin super smooth no matter where you are, home, on vacation. So check that out. I'll make sure I link that below. Did you like this video? Do me a favor, share it with whoever you know. Give me a thumbs up. And have you subscribed yet? Have you subscribed to Creatively Bambi? You gotta make sure you do that, because I got all kinds of good recipes and life hacks, tips and tricks that I even use myself. So make sure you check that out too. I gotta get in this water. Isn't it gorgeous? This is Miami Beach for you. Check it out. Don't see that every day, do ya? I never see that in DC. In this water, I mean, really? Oh. So that's gonna do it for me. Thanks for checking in with me today. I'm gonna get in this water and enjoy myself, and I'll see you next time. Why were y'all out so far, you little buggers? What? Y'all were out too far, and you know it.
We're not.
Yes, you were.
You're just a fun killer.
I am a fun killer, whatever. Hey!